Hey, what's up? Kevin Kenny, 4th and Broadway, Build Series, the whole shebang. We have ourselves quite the duo on the show today. Their brand new EP, Los Angeles, is out today. It's release day. Round of applause for that. It's very exciting when we have artists on the day they're putting out new music. And they've been on quite the run. 450 million streams around the world. And this is a big reason why. Well, I should say who it is, right? Lost Kings are here. Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us.
Where are you guys both originally from?
I'm from Baltimore.
And I'm from Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, but we've lived in LA for like 10 years now.
So it was kind of an LA thing you guys did together?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we met in LA. Like our whole thing has been bred in LA. So I feel like, you know, like all our music and experiences, and I feel like the real life experiences have happened in LA. So that's why we made this album.
I feel like from a collaboration standpoint, it's a bit of a puzzle out there at times, right? Because as many creatives as there are in LA, you got to find the right one. It's a bit of the matchmaking game, right? Where you might collab. So what made you guys last?
Well, yeah, I mean, we shared similar experiences. That's kind of why the whole Lost thing, that's where that comes from. Like when, even in our name, like Lost Kings, like we both had shared experiences where you spend like 6 months to a year in LA, like bouncing around, trying to figure out who your friend group is and like getting wrapped up in the wrong things. You know you went there for a purpose, but there's other things that get in the way.
Distractions.
Yeah, so,
a lot of different things.
So, you know, we both had that experience, so that's what goes into our name. That's what went into this name. But, you know, when we met, we both just gelled off the bat because we both were doing music separately, but we were doing different things, so we kind of play off each other really well. And it was kind of crazy. Like I tell everybody, yo, we became friends, started a business, started making music, started traveling together all at the same time. And usually that doesn't work out, but for us, it's been like such a smooth, like it's been easy working together and making it happen. It's just like meant to be, really. Like I don't know. I don't really think about that, but like when I think about where we've come from and what we've been doing for the last 5 years, it's kind of crazy. It's like that was supposed to happen. So
I like that you guys said, you know, you started a business, because I think too few artists, you hear about it a lot in hip hop. I think it's a very popular you know, thing to champion in that world, but not too many you know, dance, EDM, you know, duos or even artists themselves, DJs themselves, think of themselves as a business. And I think how important is that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important just to have in the back of your mind to always think that way, just with even interactions and the people that we work with and deal with, because as we've grown bigger, we have now such a big team. If you don't think of yourself as a business, you can get like taken advantage of.
Totally.
Yeah.
And just have that mindset.
Yeah. So Boston, Baltimore, it's always cool when I talk to people, you know, around our age that do the music you do now, because it wasn't, you know, like we had Daft Punk, and I'm thinking about things that popped up when we were kids, like, you know, dance music crossing over. But you guys probably have a great foundation of music that you grew up on that necessarily doesn't sound like your music. So what were you guys into?
I came from like a rap background, you know, being in Baltimore. Like when I started making music and producing music, like it was all rap music. Like that was what I listened to. I still listen to that today, you know, and like we both came from different backgrounds musically, like, and I think that's, you know, the music that we're making now, we didn't quite start it out. When we started out, we were, you know, starting out as DJs, so we wanted to make a certain type of music to establish ourselves, but we also didn't want to be predictable. So we wanted to get to a place where we could make the music we're making now, and that took a little bit, because you got to establish when you announce that you're a DJ duo, you got to, you know, people are expecting a certain type of music, but then you got to get to a point where you can be like, no, this is the type of music that we're making. This is taking all the influences we grew up on and doing whatever we want to do, so nobody can put their finger on like, yo, I know what Lost Kings is going to put out. They're going to put out that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to do everything differently. We never stick to a template or anything. We just like working with new people, new genres. Like we like mixing everything together. So like, you know, we just love doing that. We like keeping it unpredictable because we have very eclectic tastes. Our show is very eclectic. Like we just like keeping it open. So,
yeah, for me, it's like I grew up in a '80s rock household, Talking Heads and The Cure, and that kind of like brought me to just listening to like alternative, and so that's kind of where like I listen to everything now is like Bon Iver in 1975 and kind of like draw inspirations from like that side.
So, you know, like a casual fan might say, wow, like The Cure, Bon Iver, alternative music, 1975 even, like I don't hear a ton of that necessarily, you know, at first glance or first listen with a Lost Kings record. But take me inside the creative process. Like what would you take from a 1975 record or an alternative track that you really like, and maybe it's the essence of something, right? And then you implement it into a Lost Kings track.
It's the whole the whole thing,
Yeah.
like for them, you know, it's like the name, the music, the show, everything is like, it's a package. It's like it's like they bring you into their world. I think that's like the best thing we can do as an artist is bring people into our world, not trying to succumb to everybody else's world. It's like we want to bring you into what we're doing, and if you like it, cool. If you don't, there's other stuff out there. But like for us, it's like what we wanted to do with this was to create like, this is our world, these are our experiences. You know, it's like when we're in the daily, like working on music, it's like, how can we tell a story and put it out into the world of like what we're going through and hope that it relates to people. That's the goal. And I think for those artists, that's what we respect, is the authenticity of what they're doing and what they're building. And that's what we're trying to do. And that's what we really want to do with this project, was to, you know, build a story and build an experience that hopefully people can like relate to. Even though it's called Los Angeles, I feel like there's a lot of experiences that we went through, like just on the daily, that people would relate to. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't mean this, no pun intended, but it's you're giving fans something they can lose themselves within, right? This is Los Angeles is just as much a universe as it is a disposition, as it is a point of view, and that's really cool. I mean, how's it feel just right now? I mean, it's only been out, I guess, officially in entirety since midnight.
Yeah.
But how's it feel? Is it like a weight off your shoulders? Is it an excitement?
Yeah, we're definitely excited. Just finally that people get to hear what we've been working on and what we've had, you know, and what we've known that we've had for so long, that we just wanted to get out there because it's like hard to wait. So now it's like we're so happy that it's out, but honestly, like in our minds too, we're like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
You know, so it's always that, like we're so excited, but we're also excited about what's to come too.
Well, and that's why you guys are on the run that you're on. You've had I mean, this has been a mental year when you really think about it, right?
Yeah, this year.
Did Paper Crowns that come out 2018,
January.
January, right?
Yeah.
That's
Well, that's what was so crazy. So we did that EP, and we had built that at the end of the year in 2018, and dropped it right in the beginning of the year. We did our first like venue tour,
headlining tour,
which we had been touring for 4 years, but this was the first time that we did like hard ticket sales. Like we want to prove and bet on ourselves to see, you know, because a lot of fans don't want to come to nightclubs to see DJs. They listen to your music, but they don't want to come to a nightclub. So we wanted to do a venue tour, and we sold out our dates. And like that taste of that EP and the story of that and that tour, it was like, yo, we got to do that again. We got to do that again. So we spent the whole summer working on this project, and we're like, yo, we're going to tour at the end of the year too. And we're going to put out this EP, we're going to tour at the end of the year, and let's get another taste of that. Because once you get a taste of that, it's like, what's the next story? What's the next tour? And let's just keep it moving. So like, and now we're like, this is out, and we're excited. We want people to discover it, but we're also thinking about what's the next story going to be. Like we're talking this morning about what's the next story going to be? What's the next tour going to be? Like, because we just can't get enough of it, man. We love and appreciate what we're able to do, and we love throwing things out into the world for people to hopefully be inspired by, relate to, like, you know, listen to it. Like we just want our experiences to be out there so people can like hope that it helps them escape whatever they're going through, you know.
Well, if you had to pick it, right, and really think about it for a moment here, what is your favorite thing about what you do for a living? There's so many different components of it, but when you really boil it down, like, why do you want to do this so bad?
For me, it's inspiration, man. Like, I get inspired by other artists and other music, and I know that for me, what that, you know, listening to somebody else's song, how inspiring it can be, and help you, motivate you to do whatever it is that you're doing. And that's helped me motivate to get my music, you know, our music career off the ground. So it's like, for me, throwing out music, I'm hoping that I can inspire the next kid to be like, yo, I want to get off my couch and do whatever it is I want to do and be inspired. Like the inspiration aspect of it, like when you go to these shows and people singing the songs and they're just like, yo, this is like, I've been looking forward to this all week, or, you know.
Who was that for you? Who made you get off the couch as a kid?
Man. Yo, for me, it was Kanye, because I had a very specific experience about it, and I'm very excited he dropped his album finally.
Dude, he's got buses driving by. I was trying to not be rude to our guests today, and this guy's got movies we're playing on buses. Kanye?
Well, for me, I had a very specific experience. So when I was working a job I didn't want to work, in a summertime job right before I was about to go to college, and they were playing when Graduation came out, and they were playing that versus 50's record. And so on the radio, the guy's like, yo, we're gonna put these together. We're gonna play 50's record with Justin Timberlake Listen to that. I'm like, it's all right. Then they played Champion, and I was like, yo, the sonics on that album, just the electronic with the rapping like that, that was just something that spoke to me. And I was like, yo, I want to make music like that. I want to, like, that is some different, at that time, it was so different. And it was like, yo, that was in that riding around the car. I'm like, I was already making music, but that was like just the energy, the extra energy that I needed. It was like, all right, I'm going to produce music. Like, I don't know what I got to do to get it done, but I had been playing music, playing instruments, but I'm like, yo, I need a laptop. I need to be able to, like, you know, really, really produce. So that was really my inspiration. That moment, I was like, yo, I'm going for this. So.
That was a huge September that fall because they went head to head, 50 and Yay,
and his record just smashed.
Oh, like killed. Much love the 50, but like killed that Curtis record. It was such a turning point. I just remember being a kid, being like, oh yeah, like 50 Cent's not cool anymore. Yeah, he's cool again. Who was that for you though, growing up?
I would say probably Coldplay.
Okay.
When I grew up, my dad worked in radio.
Cool.
And so I got to meet some people like when they were coming through the city.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Coldplay on like their first tour in Boston. And they were like the nicest, most humble people I've ever met. And their show was just incredible. Like how they were to treating people, and then the performance that they put on, it was like, yo, I want to be able to put that experience, like give that experience to someone else.
Right.
Because like I never gotten to do that or see that before, meet somebody as nice as them, and like they were bringing people on stage to sing. I'm like, this needs to happen. Like I need to do this because it had such a lasting impact on me, like growing up and becoming a fan, and it just kind of like shifted of what I wanted to do.
And is it kind of cool now, you guys making, you know, electronic music and seeing like a band like Coldplay collaborate with like a duo like the Chainsmokers a couple years ago and just incorporate elements of what you guys do into this band you've loved your whole life? I mean, it's kind of neat.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like those doors being opened or, you know, allow us to open more doors that people don't expect. And that's always the goal, to do things that are unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
That's like our biggest goal, to work with singers and artists that people wouldn't normally think we would work with. We just don't like doing the same thing over and over again. So it's all about keeping it different. That's why we love, you know, this job. It always keeps, it's like, you know, we get to go different places, and, you know, no day is the same. So it's like, then we try to keep that with the music too. So
totally. I mean, talk about just the unexpectedness. I don't know why I have this thing in my mind. I think it's because the first time I became a fan of you guys was with the Tanashi song a couple years ago. And so I have this like R&B connotation sometimes. If you guys just do a great job of incorporating these R&B singers into what you do, and you're doing it here on this this EP today.
I love R&B, bro. It's
well,
like,
Baltimore, Mario, Drew Hill, but like, how did you link with Luh Kel? Because I remember, what's the Wrong? Is
Wrong.
Did you find that and then you go, we got?
Yeah, he was on our hot list of, like, we always keep a hot list of artists, and he was like up there as like, yo, a guy that we wanted to get, and we just happened to have the right song, and Sevyn being on it, and then he was like, yo, we wanted him to do a verse, and he just killed it, because I'm obsessed with that rap sing kind of vibe, and he like does such a good job at that. So like, we really wanted that, and he did a great job. Yeah, we always have like a running list of like people that we pay attention to that are up and coming, and we want to get that nobody's gotten yet. It's so important, like, to get somebody like before.
Oh yeah,
you know, like another DJ.
That's like the art of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you see a lot of artists where it's like, okay, they did 30 features in a row, and then it loses that appeal when you're on the back end of that. It's like, if you can start that trend, it's always important.
Yeah,
it's like, God bless him, but how many Travis Barker remixes do we need? No, much less. The other collab on here that I thought was interesting was Safe, and Safe, somebody who I've been a fan of for quite some time. Comes out of Toronto, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think he was friendly with the OVO camp a couple years ago and was making kind of like those sort of like Toronto R&B vibes.
Yeah.
But he is collaborating a little bit now and flirting with your world. How did you guys link with Safe?
It was the same thing. We were huge fans of him. We actually heard him on like a couple records and was like, yo, who is this guy? We did our research, and then we were like, when we had the right song, like, we need to get him on it.
It was funny. We had like kind of the full idea for the song already, and we, you know, he came out to the studio and he thought he was just doing a verse, and we were like, no, bro, we want you to cut the whole song. And he was like, oh, okay, sick. Yeah, I'll cut the whole song. And so like, he added to it, he did some things, but then he cut the rest of the song, and I'm like, yeah, and he killed it. I was like, yo. So it was a cool experience. He was super nice.
That is really cool. And then Mark's on the record, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
love Marc.
Yeah. Are you guys friends out there in LA?
Yeah. Well, we become friends now that we
Yeah.
had the record. He came out and performed with us when we did Life Is Beautiful in Vegas, and he's gonna come with us. We're doing EDC Orlando. He's gonna perform. We try to get as many as the artists as we can to come out with us. But Marc is like a guy that we've been wanting to collab with for a long time.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite records on that EP with him because his voice is so distinct, and even when he's like in the studio and we're just like he's singing and he was like even rehearsing before the show, he's just like so distinct. Like his voice is unlike a lot of like he just
You know it when
he talks.
No one has.
Like a lot of people like they talk and then they sing. It's like very different, but for him, like the way he talks and sings, it all makes sense. Like he talks almost like he sings. It's weird. But yeah, we also like we're working on another song with him too. Like he's like we talked about doing a collab project with him, maybe like a full EP with him. Like he's one of our favorites. Like he's so good.
Who's on that wish list right now that you can share? Just somebody you haven't, but yet done a track with. Are you cool with naming any names that you're really into right now?
Yeah, we can name. I mean, like
Yeah, I mean, we have like a wish list, and then people that are like we love who at one point we'd like to work with. Like we always say the 1975 as being an artist
that's a wish list.
That's
like
a huge wish.
A huge wish
huge
list.
Wish list. But I'm trying to think like Kiana Lede, Summer Walker, like like in that realm. Those
That'd
are people
so
that
cool.
we've talked to about doing something, and Kiana especially. So hopefully that like works out.
Or even like a little TJ, if I can throw.
Oh yeah,
Like his vocals really interesting, and
that'd be sick too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Let's check out some Twitter questions. This comes from @jhays88. Lost Kings, you did remixes for a lot of artists with your current success on this album. Are you going to stick with original songs, or will you go back to remixing other artists' songs? What do you like about remixing versus original songs?
So we did a lot of remixes in the beginning. We actually just did 2 remixes. One just came out with Katy Perry. The Small Talk song, we did that one. We just kind of slowly getting back into it. But the original songs, it's like we're getting to tell like an original story. You know what I mean? As opposed to like promoting somebody else's song, which is cool. It helped us build our fan base in the very beginning. It was how we jump started our career. So like I will always appreciate remixing. But it's got to be a song that I really, really love to want to remix it. We also did a Little Skies remix that's coming out in November.
Oh, that's gonna be tight.
Yeah, huge fans of him. So we
Do you know what song?
Well,
you do.
I.
Okay, Oh,
yeah,
dope.
Yeah, so we did like a chill remix of that. But yeah, it's always about like the originals is just like that we get to tell a story with that. You know, we get to tell through our experiences. It's so important to build that. That's always been the goal. Like even when we were doing remixes, it was like, we were just trying to get to the original. Like let's do the remixes.
And
cool.
It's your story.
It's our story. Yeah. Like who doesn't want to tell their own? We want to tell our own story. Like, those artists are cool and the remixes are cool. But like, being able to tell our story, be able to play those records at our shows, like. That's the goal.
And our time, we're on the road so much more than we were in the beginning when we had time to do the remixes. Like all that effort now, that when we're home goes to the original song. So it's like we're not home all the time to work.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too much on like guest verses in rap, right? It's like you like to put out your own album.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get to some in-house questions. This will come from right over here.
Hi. I was wondering, when you guys get writer's block and need inspiration, where do you guys go for that?
Ooh, it's usually just like we're chilling. Like we just like usually have a conversation. Like we have a lot of conversations when we're working. Like we'll stop if we're having like a block. We'll just sit and have a conversation about something. Just like totally forget about the moment, talk about what's going on, and just like completely forget about what we're working on, and then come back to it. Because I feel like talking about things kind of takes you back to whatever experience, or may enlighten an experience, and it may help what we're working on. So conversation, I think, is like always the best move. Like when we just want to take a break,
and then we hop on some Madden or Fortnite.
Yeah, little video games.
Lose ourselves in the video games for a little bit.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Next studio audience question.
Hi, I was wondering what your favorite place in LA to write was, either to just like write or like unwind in LA.
We make everything at my apartment, so that's like the spot.
Yeah,
but we have there's a couple studios around town that we like to work out, but it's kind of, I mean, it's hard. Like, the good thing about traveling is that we get all of our inspiration experience from there. So when we go back home, it's like we have we're ready to go, you know? Like, and so that's why I feel like we've built up enough inspiration in my little cul-de-sac.
Yeah, because
like,
honestly,
work.
sometimes LA is like super hectic too. So like the spot to get your focus and like actually realize what is inspiring you is in like the safe spot, which is like his studio, because it's like calm and you're not dealing with the traffic and the craziness. Like sometimes you can just get razzled out there just being on the streets of LA, like just driving. It's like too much. So it's nice to go back to his place. And
we're homebodies.
Yeah.
We like being at home,
Hermits.
just chilling.
Hardworking gentlemen.
Yeah.
We are running out of time, but I did want to ask you guys. I'm seeing some familiar faces on here. Are there is it these inspirations? I mean, you gotta think, is this Crisscross? Is this Kurt over here? Maybe.
maybe we got like Jay and Silent Bob
Jay
in
and
there.
Silent.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
A little drunk Spider-Man.
Oh, I love it.
We've had battles whether this is our manager or this is our manager. It's very
Depending on the time of day. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Depending on his day. But it really is just derives from like if you walk on Hollywood Boulevard, it's like it kind of is what you see. It's like it's craziness out there. So it's just kind of what we wanted to capture.
This dude, it was so insane. He like
Really
all
cool.
hand drew this. It's so sick.
Really dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you know his name?
yeah. It's Andy Wall.
Okay. Yeah.
Like ANDE.
Really cool aesthetic.
And we had the idea, and then he was able to he did a color pencil. So it's kind of crazy. It's like nothing's computerized or anything. So it's all hand. Like
We decided to do the merch for the tour. We did the whole T-shirt is the whole art.
Oh, that's
So it's like kind of
it's crazy.
it's a crazy shirt, but it's like we wanted to maximize like how cool like we think this art is. You know.
No, it came out awesome, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. Again, we're fortunate at time, guys, but you are playing Webster Hall tomorrow night. I want to.
Yeah.
Is this sold out? Can you plug this?
Yeah,
at all?
it's just about sold out. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but you are heading out.
There may be some last minute tickets though, so check if you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's reopened. Have you been back since it
We
reopened?
haven't yet.
Oh,
so we're
dude,
super
killer.
excited. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then you also have a bunch of tour dates I will also want to mention.
Yeah.
You can check those out.
Yeah. I don't know them off the top of my head.
They're all on
Can you imagine?
wearelostkings.com have all the
There you
all
go.
the
Yeah.
tour
There we
dates.
go. There
That's
we
what we're
go.
getting at. All right, cool. And again, this is out and available now. You can enjoy it. Lost Angeles. Lost Kings, everybody.